So let's talk about this idea of living in your head. You've probably heard it used like it's some kind of problem, right? Something you need to fix. Well, we're going to flip that script completely. We're going to explore how that incredible internal world of yours isn't a prison at all, but actually the blueprint for your greatest superpower. Ready to start drawing? Okay, here's the journey we're taking today. First, we'll get to know that fortress in your head. Then we'll see why it's actually a brilliant mechanism. After that, we'll lay out the blueprint for a major upgrade. We'll break down the three core pillars of that plan, and finally, we'll talk about how you can step up and become the architect yourself. All right, first stop, the fortress in your head. What are we really talking about here? Well, at its core, it's all about that disconnect, That gap between the incredibly rich, vivid world that exists inside you and what you actually show to the world outside. So, let's just put it out there. I'll ask you directly. Do you live mostly in your head? Do you feel like your most real, most vibrant life is the one happening behind your eyes? If you're nodding along, then you know exactly what we're getting into. Now, here's a really important point. The problem isn't that you don't have feelings. Oh no, quite the opposite. Your inner world is probably incredibly rich, deep, and you understand it perfectly. It's your safe space. The issue is structural. It's like the drawbridge to the outside world is always up, because expressing all that richness feels like a massive risk. So why? Why build this fortress in the first place? This is where the whole narrative shifts. Because this isn't a character flaw. It's not a bug in your system. As we're about to see, it's actually a brilliant, brilliant mechanism. Exactly. It's not a bug, it's a feature. What might feel like this frustrating limitation is, in reality, a super sophisticated survival mechanism that your brain built for a very, very good reason. And this quote just lays it all out. Think about it. When you're a kid and your inner world, your feelings, your reality, isn't seen or validated by the people around you, your brain makes a logical call. It decides, okay, expressing myself out there is not safe. So what does it do? It builds a fortress of intellect, a safe place to retreat to, where you can understand everything without risking rejection. Okay, so now that we understand the why, we can finally get to the how. And here's the key. We're not going to tear down the fortress. Why would we? It's kept you safe. Instead, we're going to give it a massive upgrade. And this is where you get a new job title, the architect. And here is your blueprint. It's got three main parts. First, something we're calling next-gen NLP. Think of it as rewriting the code. Second, the interface. That's how you connect to the world. And third, the coherent nexus. This is what aligns everything inside. All right, time to zoom in. We're going to deconstruct these three pillars one by one so you can see exactly how they work together to completely upgrade your internal operating system. So pillar number one is next-gen NLP. Now, this is not about brute forcing yourself to just get out there. That never works. Instead, this is about getting in there and gently rewriting the neurological source code, the code that automatically links safety with keeping things inside and risk with expressing them outside. I absolutely love this metaphor. We're not demolishing anything. We're upgrading. Your head stops being a place you hide from the world, and it becomes the command center where you prepare your brilliant strategies for the world. See the difference? And this upgrade results in a huge shift. You start seeing the world as a playing field, a place for action, not a judging panel you need validation from. You leverage all that deep internal knowledge to prepare, and your whole mindset switches from being defensive to being strategic. Okay, pillar number two, the interface. The best way to think about this is like the control panel or the bridge between your inner command center and the outside world. It's the conscious system you use to connect and communicate. For so many of us who live in our heads, our interface is stuck in read-only mode. We are brilliant observers. We can analyze, process, understand. We take it all in. But the right mode, the part that communicates, that acts, that sets boundaries, that's often offline, thanks to those old childhood safety protocols. So upgrading the interface means learning how to translate that flawless clarity you have inside into powerful, precise external communication. This isn't about just opening the floodgates, no way. It's about building a masterful, controlled, and safe connection between your inner self and the world. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful pillar of all, the coherent nexus. This is the bedrock. This is the deep internal architecture that finally ends the war between your head and your heart, aligning them so they operate as one powerful, unified system. This quote just hits the nail on the head. As long as your brilliant intellect is busy playing bodyguard for your heart, protecting those vulnerable feelings, you have this constant internal friction. And that friction, it just burns an unbelievable amount of mental energy. But when you build the coherent nexus, you get pure resonance. Your mind, your heart, and your words all sing the same song. Suddenly, you don't need to hide in your head anymore. And all that energy that was being wasted on internal conflict, it's free. It's available for creativity, for leadership, for taking decisive action in the world. So where does this all lead? It's the ultimate transformation. It's a fundamental shift in your entire way of being. You move from a reactive state, always defending the fortress, to a creative state where you are the master builder of your own reality. I mean, just look at this comparison. It says it all. You go from the reactive blueprint, where your mind is just a shield to hide behind, over to the creative blueprint of the architect, where that same exact system with all of its depth and power becomes your most advanced tool for shaping the world. And this is so important. This is not about changing who you fundamentally are. It's about taking all those same amazing parts of you, your deep thinking, your powerful analysis, your rich feelings, and becoming the master of that system, instead of letting its old defense patterns run you. So I'll leave you with a question, a first assignment for you, the new architect. When you think about your interface, that bridge between your safe inner world and the one outside, which specific connection, which single plank in that bridge would you want to redesign first?